By the way, I didn't even get into Harvard College. So lots of ways to get to Harvard. Hi everyone, I'm Rakesh Khurana. I'm the Danoff Dean of Harvard College, and today I'm going to be answering Google's most often asked questions about Harvard. Let's see, why is Harvard called Harvard? Well, in 1638, 2 years after Harvard was technically founded, a benefactor named John Harvard donated books and some money to Harvard. At that point, the university changed its name, and John Harvard is now considered one of the so-called founders of Harvard. Next question. Why is Harvard so expensive? The type of education that we're providing our students requires a lot of resources. We have small classes, we have a 4-year residential system, we have lots of support for our students. College has become expensive. One of the things that we've tried to make sure is that we have lots of financial aid. Our admissions are need blind. So regardless of your financial circumstances, we hope you'll consider coming to Harvard. Your family and you might have further questions about how much Harvard costs and how many people receive financial aid and what forms that takes. I hope you look at the link below and check out our net price calculator to see what it might mean for you and your family. Why is Harvard a good college? I think Harvard is a good college because of the people who are here. These are individuals who care about ideas. What I really like about Harvard is that being good is more important than being great. Why is Clown College harder to get into than Harvard? Why is Clown College harder to get into than Harvard? Don't you need those giant feet? No, actually, I don't know much about Clown College. It sounds fun though. All right, let's see what Harvard really taught me. I think Harvard taught me the importance of humility, that good questions are better than answers, that actually being a learner doesn't start or end when you start with college. It's something that you continue for your lifetime. And it's also really awesome to learn with other people. I think those are some of the things that Harvard taught me. What Harvard wants in a student. There's no formula to getting to Harvard. We have a diverse group of students, have lots of different talents and backgrounds and just kind of visions for their life. I do think that we want somebody who cares about ideas. We want somebody who wants to make a positive difference in the world, but there's really no formula. Let's see, what's next? What kind of college is Harvard? So Harvard College is a college within Harvard University. That means that we're a college that's embedded among lots of professional schools and graduate schools. We are in Boston and Cambridge. The college itself spans both areas. We have a big emphasis on the liberal arts and sciences. We're really trying to teach people about a broad range of subjects, about learning how to think, not what to think, about learning how to ask questions. We're trying to also inspire people to understand that we have so much to learn from different types of subjects and different points of view. We think it prepares people well to be productive citizens and citizen leaders for our society, which is really what our main mission is at the college. Last question. What college is better than Harvard? There are so many good colleges and universities in this country, and I think the best college is the one that's right for you. What do Harvard graduates do? They do so many different things, from arts and medicine, law, pursuing justice, rediscovering voices of the past so they can help inform our present. The real question is what do you want to do with your education? How do you want to make a difference? Why were you put on this earth? What Harvard College really does is try to be a place where people can answer that question for themselves. What do Harvard beets taste like? Well, we don't actually have an official vegetable, but since beets are crimson, I assume they taste pretty good. What do Harvard students study? Well, they can study a lot of different things. Students are exposed to a variety of different subjects and perspectives and points of view. We really emphasize looking at something and questioning, where did it come from? Why is it this way? You can study that in 50 different majors, or what we call concentrations here. You can work with faculty, you work with doctoral students. So there's a lot of different ways to approach your education here. What do Harvard students eat? I get to eat with a lot of Harvard students. From my perspective, it looks like they eat a lot of burritos. It seems like they really care about where their food comes from, what the impact is on society, on the planet. So they try to be mindful about what they eat. But boy, one of the most popular things I see people eating are tater tots. Would I get into Harvard? I don't know, but I do know that if you don't apply, you won't know. The one thing I want to say is that you shouldn't let where you get in or where you don't get in define who you are. One of the most important things is to sort of find ways to continue your education, and going to college, whether it's Harvard or anywhere else, is really important. Would I fit in at Harvard? Yes, we're a place that attracts students all sorts of different identities and different backgrounds and experiences. We hope that you would find a place that feels right to you, ultimately. That could be any college, but if you're just worried about what kind of people are at Harvard, let me just share my own experience. They're some of the most interesting, curious people who want to make a positive difference in the world. And if that's something that sounds appealing to you, I think you'd fit in perfectly fine. Would Harvard accept Elle Woods? That's a really great question for the dean of the law school, if I remember the movie correctly, but Elle seemed like a pretty cool person. Does Harvard make you smarter? I think you'll get exposed to lots of different ideas and perspectives and points of view. Probably one of the best things about Harvard is that it actually helps you focus on better questions, which I think in this world kind of is a definition of smarts. Am I good enough for Harvard? Yes. Don't let any institution or organization or person tell you you're good enough or not good enough. That's something you decide for yourself. I hope you'll consider us. We have different expectations and we have some requirements that we hope students will be able to meet. But at the end of the day, whether you're a good person or not should not be determined about which college you get into. I know it's fall. A lot of you are thinking about college, worried about applications, filling out essays. Most important thing I can say is take care of yourself. Your mental health, your well-being. We really want to celebrate who you are before the world told you what you had to be. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to hear out these answers and questions. They're obviously a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but we have a lot of information that goes into depth about some of the things I talked about today. I hope you'll use the links here to find those things. And if for some reason you have more questions, there's some email addresses and you can address your questions to that as well.